I'd say one of the biggest frustrations with Pixinsight is just maneuvering things around, and your views get all kind of like out of whack and zoom and this and that. And you see people do presentations of their videos and you're like, how do they get their desktops to look so nice? And that's what we're going to do with you right now. I'm Chad. This is the Easy Astro Images channel. If you want to support what we do here at the channel, we've got a little join button down below. You could join the channel as a channel member. Definitely appreciate each and every one of you that are already members. So let's get started here because people like quick videos. So I've opened up 4 images here and we've got all kinds of things going on. So obviously we don't need these rejections, which are going to be every other images. Now, the first thing I want you to do if you're opening up multiple images is rename them first, because once we rearrange our desktop and make things smaller, we're not going to be able to see. So this is the red channel. We're going to make this one red. All right, now everything has a name on it. Now, the next thing you want to do is you're going to want to screen stretch your video. Now, you can see here, there is shortcuts, and it's a lot easier just to hit the keyboard if your keyboard's in view than to coming up here. Control A is what you want to do. The other thing that you always want to do is you want to click this little button right here, which will give you the 24-bit option. So we're going to do Control A on all of those. And unfortunately, there's no quick way to do the 24-bit option there. Now what I want to do is I want all these things to be the exact same size. So pick your zoom level. If you want to do the nice 4x4, 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks, click on the little arrow right here, and that will give you a nice little picture. You can move that there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing. Now you know why we renamed them, because you can see it cut off our title. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy enough. Now we've got our nice 4 little quadrants right there. Now, if you mess one of these up while you're doing this and everything, no big deal. We could fix all that. What you're going to do is you could reset the zoom by clicking on the big square down here, and then you could start zooming in again and then hit the little arrow, and it will make the box almost the same size. You just click one more time to zoom in to get where you need to go, and boom, you're done. Super simple and easy. So definitely take a look at what these little arrows could do for you right here. And the other thing is, like, let's see, we're zoomed in to right here and we want to see this exact view over here. This is pretty easy. All you're going to do is just drag this over to here and let go of the button. And you can see now that we have matched views. So we could do that one more time if we want to zoom in a little bit more. And you got your small windows. It could get a little bit tricky. We don't want to mask. So if you do that, that's bad. There we go. Back and forth, back and forth. And then, of course, we could scroll back in and reset our zoom, or we could just click on the little arrow and do that all again. All right, so now that we've got all of our icons arranged, don't forget that we can apply multiple processes to the same thing by doing the old drag and drop. So if we want to crop all of these at the same time, we can open up our crop tool, and what we actually have to do is we actually got to like crop one of them and just kind of like do whatever. And then what you got to do is grab the blue triangle down here, and you're going to basically drag it off, and the settings that you did over here are saved in here. So you could actually just even close that now, and everything is all right here in this little box here. So now we could just drag and drop that box super easy and apply that crop to all of those pictures. You can save it, delete it. You're never going to need it again. It's not going to change anything that you do up here. Now let's figure out like what to do up here. Like, these are all of our beautiful process icons that we make and all that kind of stuff like that. And what happens if you get these things all out of alignment? Well, it's pretty easy. All you got to do is just highlight all of them, right click on not one of the icons, but off of one of the icons. And then you could basically say you want what you want to do with it. You can save them, move them, you can arrange them. And now you can see I've just arranged all of mine up there that way. And I can move these around how I want to. And then what I could do is I could go in and I can save these process icons. And whenever I load them up the next time, so let's just say that we go in here and we just delete these right here. Now what we could do is right click, go to process icons, load icons, and now it's going to load all those back in there. Beautiful, the way we want to do it. Now, one thing you do every once in a while is like, maybe you'll like double click like this on accident. And you're like, oh my God, how do I get back to like my normal screen? Easy. Go up to view and go to fit view. And now you're all back to where you needed to go. We could go ahead and make this thing fit the same size again. And we can do our little zoom trick here. It's usually just way faster to do it this way than it is to try to make it all fit manually. But anyway, there we go. Sometimes these videos don't go as planned, but you get to see exactly what goes on here. But again, this is pretty easy stuff if you've been doing this for a while, but I know a lot of people like struggle just with the actual functionality of Pixinsight. So learning things like these little screen, shortcuts and how to do your icons and all that stuff. Oh yeah, let's talk about that real quick. So if we want to make an icon over here, these are pretty easy. 99% of these things you can do, even scripts, but you got to have something that you're able to actually, I guess, make a change to and save is the best way to put it. So for example, if I can't like put the auto color over here, which is something that I like to do. I can't do auto linear fit because there's no way to drag off a blue instance of it and save that. But then if you go to something like, I don't know, TGV denoise here, I could make all of my custom settings that I wanted to here, and then I can drag that off, close it, I can right click it, set the identifier, TGV, and then I can bring it over here to my stack and do the same thing that we did before. And then if I don't want it, I can delete it. Things like Blur Exterminator, you can see you can have multiple versions of it. So I have my correct only one, and then I have my Fluffy Stars one. I have my regular Blur Exterminator settings here, and you could drag and drop all these and they will do exactly what you want them to do. So we could just drag and drop the correct only onto here, and it's just going to perform the correct only. You can have as many of these as you want to. You could have 10 different versions of Blur Exterminator all set up here for you if you wanted to. Same thing with Noise Exterminator. You could do the same thing. Like I have a basic setting here where I get rid of all of the color and I have just a little bit of denoise with 2 iterations. And if I wanted to, what we could do, because we're not doing a lot of that stuff we're doing mono, and we're working a little bit more with data. So if I wanted to just kind of dial this up a little bit and have a different version of it, what I could do is just bring that down here, set the identifier as mono noise X, click on that, move things around a little bit, put that right there, and then just go ahead and right click on all them, save them again. Say I want to override it. Yes. And now let's just go ahead and show you that that would work. So if we just delete these right here, and then if I want to go into process icons again, load them all up, it's going to go ahead and load all of those back in, and everything is just beautiful. So Hopefully you got a little bit out of this tutorial to make maneuvering around in Pixinsight a lot better. Now, the ability to have all the multiple panes is definitely something that I enjoy. Looking at the views this way, like when you start using a program like Serial where you only have one pane open at a time, and you know, they're working on doing like the region of interest and real-time preview stuff, and you see just the difference between the two, you start to understand why Pixinsight is the #1 player in the game. But I'm a full supporter of like Serial and all of these open source projects, SETI Astro Suite, things like that, because we need great free alternatives. And every day those guys are making huge strides to undo the king. But it's going to probably take some time, not going to lie, but they all serve very unique purposes right now. So hopefully this helps you guys out. We've got some other easy things, some new scripts coming up in the next coming videos. So we'll see you there. Talk to you later. Peace.